us, Waz. You are our only hope. Waz from Europe. We have 2 teams in North America in our final 3 for BlizzCon 2018. And now we have a series that we already saw yesterday, and it was incredibly close. We have the Waz versus the Peekaboo. We said that we hadn't really seen it before coming into yesterday. Now we have, but it doesn't take away any anticipation from this one. Now we get to see it again, Zico. It's been quite a day. It's been quite a tournament.
It was by far my favorite matchup of yesterday. Waz versus Peekaboo, of course, ending in a narrow 3-2 defeat to the GOSU crew. Now they're fighting for their lives. Last time they met, they were in the upper bracket, so they got a chance to feel each other out, see what comps they were going to run. But now, that's it. It's elimination time. Only one team will advance to the finals to face off against Sea-Doo and the rest of the guys in Method Orange.
For those of you who weren't joining us, of course, we are now 2 series away from determining our BlizzCon champion 2018. We have this series. Winner of this will go to the grand finals to meet who is awaiting them. Sea-Doo and his Method Orange looking to take that title as well. We've got 3 teams left in the competition here. And for those of us who weren't joining when we had this game yesterday, what did we really see the GOSU crew and Method Black bringing out in that tightly fought series?
Well, we kind of expected Method Black and the GOSU crew to be running rogue compositions, but Method Black had a bit of a surprise. Ended up going with the Turbo Cleave, so Waz playing the Warrior, Swapsy on that Enhancement Shaman, and Chaz on the Paladin. GOSU crew, they had to try different compositions. They led with the Shadow Priest Hunter Shaman. That didn't work out, and ended up playing the Thug Cleave, which ultimately was their best composition, tied them up the series, but Method Black in game number 5 ended up winning.
I've got a statistic here. So last year, in 2017 BlizzCon, the win rate of Europe against North America was 25-20 in favor of Europe. Very close, but we were all happy, you know. ABC wins, Europe takes home the title for the 4th year in a row. This year, North America is 16-9 against Europe. They have been winning almost every single series. The only team from Europe that stood a chance really has been Method Black, Waz being our last hope here, Zika. And I mean, going into this series now, both the teams have had a bit of time to prepare since yesterday. GOSU crew have been on the stage though, whilst Method Black have been watching in the backlines. Do you think that'll help them, Sid?
I mean, the GOSU crew just need more energy at this point. You can definitely tell that the passion is there. They've got the thrill, they've got the comps, they've got the surprise. They just need to keep their energy levels high enough. And unlike yesterday, I don't think they're going to make the same mistake walking into the first game with WizKid on Shadow Priest. Imagine if they started that series with the Hunter Rogue. Could have easily been their series. So Method Black is in trouble.
I mean, the anticipation is just building here. I mean, we talked to Peekaboo and Waz yesterday. We had that video comparing them with all the players from European and North American rosters, chipping in on their opinions, who's the best rogue, who's the best player overall. And what Waz said, I think, really spoke to me is that Peekaboo loves the game, and you can tell it from his gameplay. You can tell it from his fast-paced, high-octane action, and that's what we're expecting to see here. It's the first game, GOSU crew against Method Black, Europe's last chance. Peekaboo looking to put them in the grave.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the poll results are in. The GOSU crew, 60% favorite in this matchup over Method Black. Surprising, as Method Black did beat them yesterday, but the GOSU crew, they've had a lot more time to practice this composition. We'll have to see what they can do.
The gates have opened. Let's see if the GOSU crew can keep their energy levels high. They've been playing all day, but they need to keep going if they want to be the BlizzCon champions of 2018. Peekaboo Jellybeans striking first here with crowd control secured on Chaz. Waz looking to be the initial target, a bit of an unorthodox target this selection here by the GOSU crew. They continue the chain. They've also got Swapsy down at half, but Chaz was able to comfortably sit through that crowd control, and now that the initial surprise is over, Method Black will have opportunities.
Yeah, Chaz getting swapped to though, big pressure. Dismantle on Chaz, he can't get healing that he needs with the Avenging Wrath that could be his Divine Shield. Divine Seeds away, looking for crowd control and ab surge. He doesn't want to mess around for too long. Chaz barely hanging on. Saves the Divine Shield. These are huge 3D plays. The GOSU crew managed to pull out that cooldown, which is a huge victory.
Chaz dangerously dances with the devil initially, but the GOSU crew pin down that Divine Shield cooldown early on and secure a significant lead. Chaz could be swapped to at any moment and completely annihilated. Swapsy and Waz trying to build some momentum for the team. Will they be able to protect Chaz? They've got crowd control. Chaz unable to dispel that freezing trap. Waz taken out of the match. Chaz is in trouble. He activates that Aura Mastery, preempts preemptively reducing the incoming damage. That preemptive play from Chaz, MVP to stay alive. Now moving in and securing crowd control on 2 members of the GOSU crew. Jellybeans dipping into execute range and forced to trade his aspect of the turtle. Both teams come out swinging. This fight evening out.
Yeah, Swapsy's Ascendants with the range damage might be enough to take Jellybeans down. Absur's finally out of the crowd control, looking for heals to top him off. Dismantle over onto Waz. Peekaboo looking to slow Method Black down just a little bit. Trap on Chaz, swap on to Waz with a gouge on Swapsy. Peekaboo crowd controlling everyone up, but they just don't have the damage to get more crowd control out of Waz.
They've got Chaz locked down. They force another Blessing of Protection. Chaz burning out of cooldowns, but Jellybeans on the back foot, needs to escape. Waz is all over him and looking for a kill in game 1. Absurd saves the day. The GOSU crew stay in it. Now they're gunning down for Chaz. All 3 members chasing him. Will Chaz be able to escape is now the question. Waz with good peels. Chaz line of sights. Waz initiates for the potential kill here. Both Chaz and Jellybeans are in trouble, but Jellybeans just goes all in. Everything on the line here. Swapsy trying to punish this aggressive move. Will he be able to punish him is the question. Chaz dangerously low. Absurd needs to move in, but he can't. He gets stormbolted. Jellybeans has to abandon the kill. He's going to be able to kite away. Close calls on both sides.
Great teamwork there by Chaz and Waz, not allowing Absurd to dispel the Blessing of Protection. Full blind on Chaz, big swap on Waz, but the pre-die by the sword with the Zalzak's Veil die will be enough to deflect. Zap on Chaz, still damage coming out of the GOSU crew. Now they take Waz down. What just happened? The GOSU crew making moves.
I can't believe it. Zika and I were looking across each other, the nets being like, oh boy, Waz, great die by the sword, but Peekaboo crushes through it. And now the GOSU crew have the lead in this series.
What an incredible swap right there. And Waz reading the situation, pre-die by the sword, thinks that he's gonna be fine, but the crowd control chain coming out of the GOSU crew, just too much for them to handle. And the big reason for that is because of that Blessing of Protection. They went over to Chaz, forced him to use that on himself. He's playing that Relentless talent, so he's not gonna be able to break out of that CC chain. And they swap up their strategy. Instead of tunneling Chaz, they just crowd control him. When he has no more, crowd control breaks, and then they switch their attention to Waz and take him down. Beautiful play in game number 1 from the GOSU crew.
Method Black are stunned. I saw no movement when we panned the camera over to them, and on the flip side, you got just, you know, Jellybeans. His words from the last interview were just, let's go, let's do this, let's make sure that we can take down Method Black. And the GOSU crew, we were I thought Rich was kind of joking when he was saying that we get an all-NBA fight. I was like, oh, Rich,
he was saying that back in the Cups.
Yeah, he was saying it back in the Cups, but now we're faced with not only a likely, it's just likely, it's more than likely that we will actually have this North American versus North American finals.
Well, what's crazy about that is not just that we would have our first BlizzCon North America versus North America final in any title, but look at the rosters that were sent this year. 5 teams from Europe. Now 1 remains, and 3 teams from North America, 2 still remain. So, I mean, NA has been showing up.
At least only one of them can actually win it. We only have 1 BlizzCon where we have 4 trophies to give out for these teams, but you can see the energy, just the raw. You can feel it in the stadium. You can feel how much the crowd is getting behind the GOSU crew here, maybe even more than Method Orange, and they are really riding the momentum. What does Method Black have to do to fight their way back into this? Because they will not go out without a fight.
Yeah, definitely not. Method Black is an exceptional team. They were the top point earners worldwide. They actually won the summer final, so they're the current reigning LAN champions of this year. Their backs are against the wall, though. The GOSU crew, they have this Thug Cleave with the Outlaw Rogue. This isn't a composition you normally see. This isn't something Method Black can practice for against any normal team, because these guys play it at such a high level. Jellybeans and Peekaboo, Absurge, they're just so top-notch at the different classes that they play that Method Black are going to have to figure it out.
And one interesting thing about Method Black so far at BlizzCon, they have never lost a blind pick, and now they have. So now, for the first time, they are going to be with their backs against the wall in the rest of the series here.
Yeah, definitely, and I'm curious if we're going to see Waz switch to his Rogue. Now, that's what we all want to see. We want to see the Peekaboo versus Waz Rogue showdown, and I feel like the Rogue Mage Paladin into this Hunter composition wouldn't even be the worst pick. Maybe they can't blind lock it. They're afraid of that Rogue Shadow Priest, but if they know that the Hunter Rogue is coming, I think it is their best move to get Waz onto the Rogue again.
Yeah, the tables have really been turning here. The GOSU crew have been a showstopper. We already said it. Jellybeans as well, bringing so much energy in. he's been someone that's been kind of like on the bench a lot of the time. They've been playing this Rogue Priest Shaman composition as their main composition, featuring WizK and Peekaboo, of course, on the damage dealers. But now Jellybean's coming out, and this is the greatest stage of all. And it honestly seems to be the stage that Jelly was born for.
Yeah, it just seems like he's really risen to the occasion. He did it last year. He's doing it this year again. The GOSU crew up 1-0 against Method Black. Tovaron Arena will be the next map of choice for Method Black. GOSU crew, they will be locking in the same comp. Method Black, what are they going to do, Zico?
I think that the map pick is kind of peculiar. Why would they pick Tovaron Arena if they're going for that Holy Paladin Turbo? It doesn't make too much sense for me. I think we're going to see a compositional swap here from Method Black. I'm not sure what comp that they would run though on this map. Maybe we would see the Rogue Mage Druid again from yesterday that we saw in the Method Black versus Method Orange series, where they are going to be playing for that long game and just try to dampen essentially with Chaz going for those drinks. The map would certainly be really good for that.
Do you think, and I've been saying this for skill caps, I really want to see him playing it more. Do you think Method Black, who have been practicing the Demon Hunter Moonkin quite a lot, could bring it out here?
Well, the problem with the Demon Hunter Moonkin is that you're not going to be able to win on the CC chain because of the Hunter's Master's Call. The Hunter has a freedom effect, essentially, that dispels that Root Solar Beam, which is kind of the big thing for the Demon Hunter Moonkin Resto Shaman. So the Hunter kind of does well into that, and I think with an Outlaw Rogue, it just becomes too much of an X factor. You're also going to have Absturge on Resto Shaman going up against Chaz. I mean, Chaz can hold his own, but Absturge is kind of in a class for himself with Sea-Doo, in my opinion.
Method Black only have 17 seconds. We'll have to see what this mastermind composition is coming in from them, which has led to this Tovaron Arena map pick. Swapsy will be behind a lot of the genius, the mad scientist, the two-time BlizzCon champion, the only BlizzCon champion featured in either of these rosters.
There it is.
And they are swapping over
There
to
it is.
Mage Rogue Paladin coming in for Method Black. Why are we so excited to see this composition, Sid?
Are you kidding me, Adrian? Are you kidding me? Waz Outlaw against Peekaboo Outlaw in the BlizzCon lower bracket semifinals. The winner of this series moves to the grand finals, and you're asking me why, Adrian?
Well,
this is going to be sick.
Okay, that's fair to say. This is going to be sick, but why does Method Black go for this pick? Do you think they've been forced off the turbo? Do you think they have an advantage in this matchup with Waz going mirror for mirror, outlaw for outlaw, sword for sword, plank for plank against Peekaboo?
Well, somebody's going to be walking the plank here, but I do think that the composition that Method are bringing, I was expecting it to be a Resto Druid, but with the Outlaw and the Holy Paladin, you will have a lot of instantaneous stuns on demand. And what I really want to see from them is Hammer of Justice on the kill target and use that pistol stun on the healer, because it's a lot less telegraphed when you do it that way. And I mean, it's going to be up to Riker. He's going to have to step up to the occasion here on that Frost Mage. They're going to have to find opportunities to either burst down Absturge or to burst down Peekaboo. More likely going to be Peekaboo here. And we kind of saw a similar matchup with the RMP earlier when making a movie face GOSU crew, and those matches were nail biters. They could have gone either way.
You can see the win rates there. Waz versus Peekaboo, both bringing out the rogues. It's the first time that we've seen them playing those rogues against each other here at BlizzCon. And the odd thing for me is I remember back to BlizzCon 2015, 3 years ago, when I played against Peekaboo, and Peekaboo was the player running that Rogue Mage Paladin composition. So he's very familiar with Rogue Mage. He's played it with Jamili, he's played it with many mages throughout the years. This is a player who has been a tournament veteran, but he may meet his match here. Waz is someone that has so many tricks up his sleeves, but is it the tricks of the trades that Peekaboo's been bringing?
Dude, this crowd is louder than the orcs drumming in the Grand Arena there.
That's very
getting
loud.
Ready and pumped here. We've got it, ladies and gentlemen. The first time ever, Peekaboo's Rogue going head-to-head against Waz's Rogue.
Ooh. Let's hear it, guys. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible.
Two Rogue legends. Outlaw Rogue coming in from Waz. This is a spec he sort of pioneered. He's been playing it throughout all of Legion. He has a lot of experience on it, so this is going to be an interesting matchup. Peekaboo kind of picking it up a little bit more recently, but doing such a phenomenal job on it so far in this tournament. The question is, do they have practice as Rogue Mage Paladin against this type of composition that the GOSU crew is bringing to the table.
It is really interesting because certainly Europe has been the region that has been kind of leading the Outlaw charge. We've seen some resistance to rogues playing it, but when we have seen it, it's normally been Waz, the first person who's playing it. Now Peekaboo has adapted over to the specialization, and hey, he's saying anything you can do, Waz, maybe I can do it better. We'll see if that is the case here in Game 2. The gates are soon to be opening. We have the map popped. Zico, last words from you going into this last game. Do you think?
I mean, it's the new Outlaw versus the OG Outlaw. Has Waz been keeping his Outlaw fresh, though, for BFA? Because the last time we saw him play it was more or less back in the summer finals. And this is it, ladies and gentlemen. The gates are about to be opened up soon. We're going to have Waz versus Peekaboo. Outlaw Showdown, Raikou on the mage. RMP from Method Black versus the Thug Cleave coming out of the GOSU crew.
I mean, we saw the new McCree trailer, but I think it's fair to say we know who the real Outlaws are. They're in this game. Torvaron Arena, Peekaboo versus Waz, Rogue versus Rogue, GOSU crew against Method Black.
We couldn't ask for a better way to end this year here at BlizzCon. Both these teams battling out with every inch of their soul for finding that victory here this year. Will they be able to do it? Raikou sneaks across the map. Waz moves in as well. If Jellybeans can get a flare and find either Raikou or Waz, it could be devastating, and he's holding on to it. Raikou out of stealth now. The GOSU crew have an opportunity to strike.
Sap coming in from Waz. He found Jellybeans in stealth. Will the GOSU crew be able to deflect? Peekaboo finds Waz, gets the cheap shot on him, but the blind on Chaz. Not a bad start for the GOSU crew.
The GOSU crew managed to get the initial exchange in their favor. Waz dips low in the initial seconds of this. Raikou trying to help Waz out with some polymorphs, managing to back him up, but now Chaz caught into a stun, and Waz is just getting completely destroyed here on game number 2. Chaz saves him, now starting crowd control of his own onto Absurge. Peekaboo could be in trouble as Method Black strike back.
Yeah, Absurge caught into the Hammer of Justice. Peekaboo in a little bit of trouble, uses the Cloak of Shadows. Zalzek's Veiled Eye still low. Is Absurge gonna have to trinket with the Spirit Link? He's into the full polymorph. Peekaboo just running for his life, uses the Vanish. Waz building up some damage on Jellybeans. Method Black all over the place.
Peekaboo aborts the mission there. Now setting up some crowd control for Jellybeans. Raikou trying to soak up that freezing trap. Jellybeans knocks him away. Jellybeans needs this freezing trap. Raikou's trying to make it difficult for him to be able to land it. Will he be able to find it on Chaz? He's playing it very patiently. He lands an interrupt. Waz is getting soloed by Peekaboo. Peekaboo pre-grappling hooks away from the incoming stun. Nice read by Peekaboo. Absurge with good crowd control on Raikou. Both these teams just swinging at each other. Jellybeans chasing down Chaz once again, but Absurge gets crowd controlled first. Jellybeans gets stalled out. Great support from Raikou here, breaking up the crowd control and allowing Chaz to breathe. They need to keep this chain going, but that finally secures the freezing trap. Waz in trouble. Chaz trying to hold on to cooldowns, manages to make it out of the freezing trap. Absurge now locked down, 3-on-1 versus Peekaboo, killing 3 out from Waz, but Absurge deflects. Earthen Wall Totem saving the day. This game is so evenly fought. Blind now committed. Chaz removes that immediately. Cooldown overlaps on the side of Method Black. This is an opening for the GOSU crew.
Yeah, Waz trading out the riposte, definitely not ideal in this situation. Now a stun coming in from Peekaboo. No crowd control on Chaz. You can see Raikou positioned exactly on Chaz, making it difficult for Jellybeans to actually land the trap, but he snipes it. Waz could be in some trouble. He hooks away, running for his life. Chaz still has the bubble if he needs it, but there's no Blessed Gift protection, there's no ultimate sacrifice. Chaz is gonna have to play catch up. Both rogues low, cheap shot on Waz. Raikou looking for crowd control to slow down the GOSU crew. Waz hangs on by his thread.
Peekaboo almost taking Waz down there on the quick draw. Jellybean's doing relentless pressure. Raikou's doing whatever he can to try and eat this incoming freezing trap, but he's just not able to, and Chaz has burned through most of his defensive arsenal. Both sides, really. Peekaboo or Waz could fall at any moment. Whoever gets the first engage is likely to take it, and Method Black are initiating first. Peekaboo preemptively feints, but Waz held the trigger. That feint is now over. They need to continue the chain, but they don't. Absurge's pre-earthen wall denies it. Now he's looking for cheeky crowd control on Raikou. The freezing trap on Chaz is good. Waz in trouble. Pre-dismantle. Peekaboo dismantles. Both teams mind-reading each other. Waz falling low. Chaz not with much left here to work with. Waz trying to escape. Raikou's support looks good. Chaz leads the charge, topping off Waz as both teams begin to stabilize.
Yeah, but Jellybeans and Peekaboo kiting that Avenging Wrath coming in from Chaz. Not able to get out too much damage. Finally connecting to a target, topping off his team, but a blind on Chaz. Waz could be in some trouble. He vanishes out, looking for the damage on Peekaboo. No crowd control on Absurge just yet. He has to play catch-up. He needs to get the heals on Peekaboo. Chaz committed the Divine Shield. There's a full trap. Big setup coming in from the GOSU crew onto Waz. Can they take him down? He needs to run for his life. Intimidation stun coming in from Jellybeans. Waz barely holds on. Chaz out of the crowd control. Now Method Black looking to reverse the pressure.
The GOSU crew have so many cooldowns, it would be a throw on their part to lose this. They're so far ahead. The GOSU crew are looking good in game number 2. Peekaboo makes a swap. Chaz gets away. The dismantles on both sides as the game is paused out for a second. Neither rogue able to attack just yet, but the next freezing trap on Chaz could easily close the match, whereas the GOSU crew have a lot more options to trade. They're so far ahead. Waz is going to have to play absolutely out of his mind for the next minute to be able to stay in this, and Absurge knows that. He's leading the charge with some lava bursts. Jellybeans is ready and waiting for that freezing trap. He's all over Chaz. Peekaboo wants to close. Waz is ducking for cover. Waz is able to escape. Raiku's support once again keeping his team in the game, but the polymorphs are shortly going to be fading, and Raiku's protection is not going to be there endlessly. As soon as Jellybeans gets this freezing trap, Waz is going to be in so much danger, but they're waiting so long to go for it.
Yeah, there is an opportunity for Method Black, but I don't know if they're going to get it. The GOSU crew gets crowd control on Chaz. Stun onto Waz. They're trying to reverse the pressure onto Peekaboo. He's got no trinket, caught into the stun. Absurge, how are you going to save him? Hammer of Justice. Peekaboo hook shots away, out of line of sight, and ultimately will survive.
Jellybeans getting swapped to. Raikou has secured crowd control. Raikou hard carry here. Jellybeans dipping low. They've got cooldowns to trade. They just simply need to press the abilities if they want to stay in this. The GOSU crew still have a massive lead. There's the potential game-winning freezing trap, but he pre-sacrifices. Nice play from Chaz, breaking up that chain and keeping his team in the fight. The GOSU crew look for a swap, but Raikou once again supporting the team. Waz engages. Absurge trades that trinket, getting in position for a potential spirit link. The GOSU crew could quite possibly run Chaz down. Will he be able to stay alive? His Avenging Crusader just becomes available, but they dismantle it. They completely dismantle Method Black in game 2.
Method Black dismantled in game 2. Chaz falls and the GOSU crew are 1 game away from the BlizzCon Final 2018. Last series, we established if the pen was greater than the sword. It wasn't. Now we're establishing if the sword is greater than the sword, and so far it looks like Peekaboo's is the mightier of the two.
Yeah, Peekaboo had such a phenomenal game here. Jellybeans and Peekaboo, they just look so good together, landing those traps, stunning up Waz at the same time, realizing that Waz is just kiting, playing too defensive, like finding the opportunities onto Chaz instead, and that disarm at the end as well to prevent the healing of that Avenging Crusader. Just top-notch play coming out of Peekaboo.
The entire year, Zico, the entire year, we've relied on you to come up with the answers for these teams. You wanted the Outlaw. You've called many of the things that we've seen the meta shitty around some of your predictions. What can Method Black do here? 2-0 down, 1 game away from being eliminated from BlizzCon.
They should have played Resto Druid in my mind. I think that if they play Resto Druid or if they play Shaman themselves, that's way better than playing the Holy Paladin. Go ahead, Sid.
What about Fire Outlaw Shaman?
Yeah.
I feel like that would have been a bit safer pick. Chaz on that Paladin just is too vulnerable against the team of the GOSU crew. They can swap to him at any moment. It's a very fragile situation for him. I think a Shaman pick would have been much better.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. I think the Frost Mage just doesn't provide the same sort of burst that a Fire Mage does in this situation, and they just need more damage during these setups. They have the crowd control that they need with Waz on the Outlaw Rogue, but it seems like the GOSU crew, they're able to deflect all of the incoming damage. And honestly, Method Black, they didn't play that bad. They had some very sick plays. Raikou consistently Novying the Hunter's Harpoon, so he was avoiding some of the crowd controls that Jellybean was able to get out in the match, and they just didn't find the opportunities that they needed throughout the match, and the GOSU crew just did a really good job.
Well, I want to touch on one thing, because Raikou was playing the concentrated coolness again. This is a matchup where you want to play Deep Shatter. You're playing with a Holy Paladin. You're going to be on 12-round arena. You're never, ever going to go down as a Frost Mage in this matchup, which means you can just play maximum offense. Why is he playing Temporal Shield? Play the concentrated coolness, play the Burst of Cold, play Deep Shatter. You probably never press Temporal Shield at all last game, whereas Frostbolt is your highest damage spell when you play Deep Shatter, like actually.
There's so many things, there's so many questions, but the one thing that is certain is that the GOSU crew are 2-0 up in this series. Can they win it with this next victory? The crowd certainly hopes so. I'm starting to hope so, and we'll find out the answer after this quick break.
The 2018 World of Warcraft Arena World Championship is brought to you in part by Republic of Gamers, Corsair, T-Mobile, Samsung SSD, and NVIDIA.
Let's take a look at how the GOSU crew came up with the win as part of delivering the win, sponsored by Grubhub.
So right away here, we can see the final couple of seconds in the game, and GOSU crew has just withered down Method Black's cooldown so much throughout the game here, and this is really the point where you've reached basically the breaking point as Chaz. You don't have any more cooldowns really to work with outside of that Avenging Crusader, of course. And I mean, the GOSU crew, they just played it tactically. They just played around all the cooldowns and they find that victory. And we're gonna take a closer look to that right here. You can see how Jellybeans and Peekaboo are all relentlessly going after Waz here. And Waz, he is he's not looking too good, but he still has his Cloak of Shadows. He still has a little bit of cooldowns to work with, and Waz thinks he's fine here, actually. He's going to reverse that pressure. Chaz just broke out of that freezing trap, which means that Jellybeans and Peekaboo, they're not going to be able to kill Waz anymore. Instead, they're going to be swapping over their attention over here, and they're going to try to go after Chaz. The big thing here to look for is, of course, this button right here, the Avenging Crusader in your top right corner. That is a big, big healing cooldown that Chaz has at his disposal. He's going to be doing a lot of damage and healing up his whole team based off of how much damage he does. And we're going to take a look at what exactly ends up happening here. But we can see that Freezing Trap lands. Chaz pre-sacrifices it, so that breaks him out. That gives Jellybeans and Peekaboo no other option but to go after Chaz. Chaz gets kicked right there. Peekaboo gets a nice kick into the stun. And notice how he waits with stunning until the kick is about to fade. That's a good trick that every single rogue does at this level. And then he waits with his disarm. He gouges up Waz, presumably to stop himself from getting stunned or disarmed. Then he gets the disarm right there onto Chaz, avoids the stun on himself for a second or two, and then they managed to finish off Chaz in that game. And that, Adrian, is how they were able to deliver the win.
Dismantled, disarmed, and defeated. GOSU crew able to pick up that win. Delivering the win is sponsored by Grubhub. Grubhub is offering new users $9 off their first order of $15 or more with the Grubhub app using promo code MageTable. Today's broadcast is sponsored by Grubhub. New users can download and install the Grubhub app to receive $9 off your first order of $15 or more using promo code MageTable. For 4 consecutive years, Europe has had, well, esports in general on lockdown. They have won every single world championship since Chanimals in 2013. Now, North America looking to break the curse, looking to eliminate Europe from the competition. Method Black have one last chance against the GOSU crew. Do you believe? Can Waz do it?
Ladies and gentlemen, the gauntlet has been thrown down. Peekaboo looking to establish himself as king of the Pirates. Method Black need to reverse sweep 3 games in a row if they want a second chance in the grand finals to face off against the juggernaut Method Orange. Only one more shot. Can they do it?
Yeah, full blind on Chaz. Swapsy wanted to come in this game, wanted to put a point on the board for his team. Waz already down to 50% HP. Nice fear coming in from Waz. Nice setup on Peekaboo. Caught into the stun. Forced to trade out his trinket and his riposte.
Early on aggression from Method Black. You can tell that they smell blood in the water and they are going to be battling their hearts out here. The crowd control chain looks good, but Jellybeans able to avoid the combat. Peekaboo as well. Great synergy. Now the GOSU crew secure crowd control of their own as they engage in attack, but it is actually Peekaboo on the back foot at the end of that exchange as Method Black start pulling themselves back in the fight. Jellybeans knows that his team is up 2 points in the series. They could go for an all-in on Chaz. Jellybeans jumps over. They're going to commit for the all-in. Will Chaz choke? He denies the kill with the Avenging Wrath. Opting out of the Avenging Crusader, realizing that Peekaboo was shutting that down. He's made a talent change, and now Chaz sets up crowd control of his own. Peekaboo in trouble.
Yeah, Peekaboo in a lot of trouble. Blinding Light on Absurge out of the crowd control, looking for a Hex. Finds it on Swapsy. Swapsy trinkets out, wants to keep the damage rolling on to Peekaboo. Could be an opening for the GOSU crew a little bit later on, but it seems like the GOSU crew's main focus in this matchup, put pressure on Waz, look for swaps onto Chaz. Been working out decently well for them, but still Method Black's looking good with the cooldowns they have available.
The GOSU crew getting reckless, making another swap to Chaz, managing to pull his human racial to break out of that stun. He's not going to have that option the next time they do it, but Chaz is effectively dealing with this pressure. Despite his team being against the wall with only one loss, sending them home, he's still making sure to trade efficiently. Chaz gets blinded. The GOSU crew looked for a strike here towards Waz. Lava Burst flying in as well. It's 3-on-1. Chaz saves the day, but at the cost of his most powerful defensive cooldown. Method Black are in trouble.
Yeah, Divine Shield from Chaz. Keep in mind, he's playing Relentless, so he has no way to get up out of the following blind. Hammer of Justice on Absurge. Peekaboo in a little bit of trouble. Really nothing left. He vanishes out, trying to keep himself alive. He will ultimately stabilize with that. Peekaboo looking for a play. Stuns Chaz, looking for pressure. Jellybeans needs to get there to help him out. Not in position to really get too much damage rolling, and that setup's not going to do much.
Ooh, Peekaboo overcommitted. Absurge, will he be able to save him in time? Dangerous moment for Peekaboo. Method Black still showing signs of life here in game number 3. Match point in the semifinals. Chaz gets crowd controlled, able to get out of it. Jellybeans now low on health, Peekaboo as well, but they're just gunning for Waz. Will Chaz be able to handle the heat is the real question here. Waz dips dangerously low. They deny the die by the sword. He's able to heroically back to safety. Chaz burning through cooldowns. Chaz now gets swapped to another Blessing of Protection, and suddenly the GOSU crew have a massive lead. Method Black need to do something soon.
Yeah, Waz gonna be in a lot of trouble. Blinding Light on Absurge. Peekaboo could be in trouble as well. Could be a cross kill. Absurge drops the Spearling Totem to keep his team alive. Chaz tops off his entire team with the Avenging Wrath, and all of a sudden the GOSU crew's on the back foot.
The entire team of the GOSU crew below half health, and Absurge has a lot of work ahead of him. Peekaboo trying to kite away. Jellybeans as well, avoiding the combat. Great teamwork from GOSU crew. Despite all that pressure, they have started to recover. Waiting for Chaz's Avenging Wrath to fade, and now basically there's almost nothing for Chaz to survive another swap. They go for the blind, it's triple crowd control. Swapsy trinkets out. Everything rides on Swapsy to carry in these final moments of the game. They've got good counter pressure. Waz has the cooldowns to exchange. He's trying to kite back to the pillar, but he's got to be careful if he line of sights Chaz and gets stunned around the corner. They go for a swap. Chaz in trouble. He needs support. Swapsy once again, supporting him with some healing surge. Now Absurge on the back foot. Waz dips low though. Needs to be careful. He's got cooldowns to trade. He's trying to hold on them and extend them for as long as possible, but every second he spends so low on health is going to be more and more stress for Chaz.
Yeah, Chaz actually has an mana advantage in this matchup as well. If they can drag it on long enough, potentially outmanning Absurge in the long game. Waz getting low. I don't think it's going to points in. Waz got into the stun. Trap on Chaz. Can they take him down? Chaz has no crowd control break. Waz leaps over, gets the fear on Absurge. They're looking to reverse the pressure, but the dismantle coming in from Peekaboo, I don't think they're going to be able to find the damage.
Waz dipping dangerously low. Is Method Black going to be able to stay in this fight as they try to strike back towards Peekaboo? Blade Storm dueling tons of damage. Absurge is almost completely tapped on mana. It's a race to the finish. Peekaboo trying desperately to kite away and allow Absurge time to recover. The next freezing trap or a swap to Chaz could close the game out. They trap up Waz. They want Chaz. They're chasing him down, but Chaz denies the swap with perfect positioning. Jellybeans makes his way over. Chaz tries to make an escape, able to kite away. That Blessing of Freedom purged 1 second too late. Peekaboo is now overextended. Waz and Swapsy chopping him up. Absurge commits that Earthen Wall Totem. The GOSU crew are going to be safe for a few more seconds. Chaz as well activating that Avenging Wrath. Pre-Aura Mastery. Chaz predicting the stun. This could be the final stun of the game if Chaz is not careful. He needs 14 more seconds. 13 more seconds. He's not going to make it. Peekaboo gets peeled away. Chaz holds on by the seat of his pants. 5 more seconds. He needs 5 more seconds. 4 more seconds. 3 more seconds. He's not going to do it. The GOSU crew are making
first time in BlizzCon history, we will have a North America versus North America final. The GOSU crew against Method Orange 2018 could not be a crazier year.
Oh my God, this is just insane. How are they doing this? It's so crazy how they manage to stay alive, how they find these opportunities, swapping back and forth between Swapsy, between Chaz, between Waz, anyone that they can hit, landing the crowd controls time and time again. And for the first time ever, we're gonna have the NA versus NA final. And it's going, of course, to be the GOSU crew versus Method Orange. Same way we've been setting up the entire year. These two teams couldn't be more evenly matched. And I just want to get into the games.
Oh, I can't wait to get into the games. That man on your screen, Peekaboo, he's being modest when he says he's the man of the year. He's the man of the century, bringing out a 5-year curse for North America of Europe domination. Now we are guaranteed a North American BlizzCon champion here at BlizzCon in the Anaheim Convention Center 2018. Incredible stuff. I just can't believe it, Enrique. I mean, we've been on such a road. We've been talking about skill-capped Method Black the entire year, but the real story here is the GOSU crew and Method Orange.
Well, that has been the story in North America for a very long time. Throughout the Cups, throughout the entire year, these teams have been on the warpath, always getting in the grand finals versus each other. And like Zico was saying, it is a very evenly matched series between these two teams. It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
And it's heartbreaking for some of the European fans. I mean, look at Raikou, for example. 2015, he came second. 2016, third. 2017, he was one game away, got eliminated by Swapsy, who he's now playing with. Now he finds himself in third place again, but it was a hell of a run, and we cannot wait to see what they'll bring next year.
But that's the thing. Raikou came second, was one game away, but Jellybeans also came second. Sea-Doo also came second. All of these guys have been competing for so many years, and they are so hungry, and we will have a new champion at the end of the day.
Has anyone on either of these rosters ever won BlizzCon? I don't think they have, right?
No,
Not a single time. We've got so many second places. We've got Sea-Doo, we've got Jellybeans. We've got some of the biggest faces in North American, like, arena gameplay, but none of them have won BlizzCon. And that's why they're here. That's why they're in the finals. This is the final accolade for either of these teams. Both of them so hungry to win this. Rich Campbell is down on the desk on the stage with Peekaboo. I can't wait to see what he's got to say after that.
NA has not won a BlizzCon since 2013. EU has been dethroned, and this was the man to do it with the GOSU crew. And right now, I mean, how does it feel to actually do it against Waz? Obviously, parallels have been drawn. You just took down one of the most dominant teams from the year.
Honestly, that was crazy. I didn't expect that to go that well because the last series versus them was one of the most nerve-wracking series ever. And I'm actually really excited. I got to play versus Outlaw Rogue that one game, and I mean, I did get the dub. So it was a crazy series,
You did get that double team, but let's actually talk about what's been going on with you guys, because you had a lot of nerve-wracking series a little bit earlier in the tournament. You're kind of picking up a lot of steam. You've had some pretty dominant wins. Are you in the best fighting form right now?
I don't know what happened. Like, I think last night losing like that kind of just like upset us to the point of where it's like we're gonna do everything we can to win now. And I don't think I've ever played this well with my entire life.
All right, I want to double check something with the crowd right now. Who here is cheering for NA? Who's here to cheer for NA? First ever North America versus North America final about to go down right here on the main stage. But look, you're not the only North American team in that equation. You're going up against Sea-Doo. You're going up against Method Orange. What's it like to actually share the stage with someone from the same region?
I think it's absolutely incredible. There's absolutely no other team I'd want to fight other than Sea-Doo. I've been going back and forth with them for so many years now, and I'm so excited to play this next match. I can't wait.
We don't even have to talk about any other years. Let's look at this year. Let's look about how many times you guys actually played each other. It's one of the most played matchups that we saw. It came down to one of the last days to actually see who was going to be first place in the region, who's going to be second place. Do you think it's going to be that close here?
I really think so. With how well everyone's been playing recently, I'm not sure totally what to expect, but all I know is that this is going to be the hardest series I'll ever have to play. So I'm just going to give it my all.
I'll tell you one thing that I know right now. North America is about to win BlizzCon. We're heading back to the desk.